that's it. The Immigration Department say it's all going to be coming into force as of Q2 2015, which I interpret as April 1, because it makes sense for it to be that date. And if the Immigration Department said, no, we're going to start in April 1, people would just wait and hold off their applications, and all of a sudden everybody would apply after April 1 expecting, you know, the world to move for them, as it were. So I think it's April 1, but I, you know, like everybody else in this room, I'm ready to be corrected. I don't have an inside track on the Immigration Department's decision making. The million-dollar question is, will it get easier? I don't know. I really don't know. We'll know by Christmas whether things are getting easier. If the department are generally responding to this idea that there is potentially, you know, the scope for doubling the number of visas that get approved under the entrepreneur, talent and professionals class, then maybe there will be an alleviation of some of the approval criteria, but it remains to be seen. So that's all I've got for you. Thanks for coming. I hope you found it educational. Would you like to ask questions?
Is there another question about the quality migrant scheme?
Yeah.
What is the criteria for top 100 universities? Because there's so many lists.
Yeah. The information that has been released speaks to the fact the Immigration Department will generally refer to those lists that are kind of acknowledged as being leading, but they're ready to have a negotiation with you if there's a marginal scenario in play.
So it can be any independent publisher which is not directly related to the immigration.
Well, I think what's happening is the Immigration Department are looking at the Times list, and I think they're looking at an American list. But clearly, you know, there'll be opportunities to make an argument that says, look, you know, in this list we're 105, and in that list we're 99, and so, and they've read, in the language that I've read, they've tacitly acknowledged, this was a report to LegCo by the Security Bureau, and they tacitly acknowledged that there will be occasions where they have to, you know, get down and dirty and negotiate. Yeah.
And does that apply to undergraduate degrees, graduate degrees, just any kind of education then?
Yeah, and essentially, if you need to be a graduate to participate in the program to start with. So you'll get a certain number of points for your bachelor's degree, and if it's from a top university, you'll get the increased amount. If you get your master's degree, same thing, from a top university, they'll tally it that way. But I think that's sort of a red herring at the end of the day. The problem is that I see CVs of applicants for visas day in, day out, right? And I know a star from a dog when I see it, right, for immigration purposes. And the Immigration Department know that as well. So under the Quality Migrant Admission Scheme, they're talking about top-notch talent, and there's a quota associated with it. They've never expended the quota, and the vast majority of applicants that get approved, as I mentioned, are Chinese. But there are other issues associated with means they're inundated with rubbish applicants. And when I talk about rubbish applicants, I mean those people who genuinely have no chance of approval. And most of these problems under this program occur in India and Pakistan, where there is so-called immigration consultants that are basically taking money off people that want to come to Hong Kong and participate in this program. So I get quite a few emails and messages through the blog of people saying, I've been offered a job as a nurse under the Quality Migrant Admission Scheme, and I've been asked to pay this much in Indian rupees, and you know, does this sound right to you? And it's all just, you know, rubbish. It's these poor people being ripped off. And the problem is that these poor people who are putting forward their applications in that way have a reasonable expectation there's a good chance of approval, because they're being told that. They're being liberated of their money by these people, and there's really no chance of approval. But the system, in a sense, sets them up for that. Because to get a visa under this program, you've got to be a top-notch talent, and you've got to be able to show you've got the money to be able to live in Hong Kong for at least 12 months while you become settled after you've gotten approved. So I think what we should do under this program to cut down the vast numbers of rubbish applicants, to focus on those people that can really stand a good chance of approval, is to say, well, in order to get the visa anyway, you've got to show you've got, say, 150,000 Hong Kong dollars in your bank account. Well, why don't you make it a condition of the application that you have to put a deposit of $150,000 in with your application that's refunded if you don't get approved? That way, all the rubbish applicants would fall away, and the immigration department will be able to look clearly at those applicants that really stand a decent chance of approval. Any other questions you'd like to ask me? Great, good. Wunderbar. Thanks very much, everybody. Appreciate it.